Will Big E return to the ring, or is his wrestling career officially over? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. We're here for an update on the Big E neck injury. I've actually seen some people speculating about whether Big E will be back in time for WrestleMania to team up with the New Day to take on Sheamus' new faction. And what a bunch of mongoloids. This guy's just broke his neck, and there's no way he's going to be back for WrestleMania. It would never be cleared in time. He would never be able to have have a match or put any sort of weight or like impact on his neck. So I mean, we've seen people we've seen people with neck injuries take like a decade out the ring. This guy's broke his neck, so I highly doubt that he's going to be back in a couple of weeks to compete at WrestleMania. So that's not going to happen. But former WWE and NFL doctor has been David Chow. David Chow, don't know who he is, but he's been talking about Big E and the severity of Big E's neck injury, and he says, quote, "Axle load injuries are dangerous, and it seems Ewan escaped disaster. He was able to move all his extremities and reportedly has strength. He later indicated he has suffered 2 different fractures in the neck at C1 and C6. The C1 fracture is most dangerous as the top cervical vertebrae is a ring and is commonly associated with immediate death or complete paralysis. Thankfully, the fracture was not displaced and we will not need surgery. However, this type of fracture often heals incompletely, and it may mean the end of his wrestling career. The C6 fracture is a likely compression injury due to the vertebral body. This is likely to requires immobilization but not surgery. One would anticipate a minimum of 3-month recovery with return to full function and activities for the lower cervical injury." Unquote. So, due to this C6 fracture, this C6 fracture alone, this doctor is recommending a minimum of a 3-month recovery time. But according to him, a C6 fracture isn't really that bad. And you need a minimum of 3 months before you can, really do anything and before you can function properly. But the C1 fracture, which seems to be pretty critical, is most commonly associated with death, immediate death, or complete, paralysis. So, yeah, there you go. I mean, he even said himself, Big E escaped disaster. So, by the sound of this, I mean, Big E, never mind, wrestling, he should be grateful that he's alive. He's lucky to be alive. The fact that he's moving and he's not paralyzed and he's not an absolute vegetable, the fact that he can feel his fingers, move his fingers, and move his body parts is a good sign, because it could have easily went another way. And this guy's a doctor, so I'm assuming he knows what he's talking about. Unlike us, I mean, we can only look at neck injuries and stuff like that. Yeah, it looked bad, but I mean, we don't know shit at the end of the day. All we can do is go, oh, that looked bad, or that didn't look too bad. Well, this did look bad, but it looked like it could have been a hell of a lot worse, because, like I said, he's got the C1 fracture is, insane. It's I guess one of the worst fractures you can get if it's associated with immediate death. So yeah, there you go, Big E. He's not dead though. He doesn't appear to be paralysed, but you never know. It's early days. Even though the signs at the moment are good, sometimes looks can be deceiving. Sometimes straight after an injury, everything appears to be okay, then it turns out not to be. And then sometimes you get the opposite. Sometimes things look really severe, but then it turns out that it's not in the long run. So it's a waiting game. It's a waiting game, but I think it's fair to say that we will not see Big E at WrestleMania. I don't expect to see Big E for the rest of 2022. I'd be surprised if he's back in a ring this year. And who knows, maybe according to this doctor, he might never be back in the ring. So yeah, kind of sad. I'm not a Big E fan by any means. I won't lose any sleep over not seeing him in the ring again, but you never want anyone to go out like this. I would never wish harm on the guy, just because I personally don't enjoy him. So yeah, hopefully he gets back fully fit. Hopefully he comes back to the WWE, and hopefully Bobby Lashley gets to whip his ass again and defend his belts against him or something like that. So yeah, Big E, will he be back? Will he not be back? At the moment, it's just a waiting game, but apparently it's not looking good for Big U. And that's it, guys. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back with more wrestling news, wrestling gaming content, wrestling top 10 lists, anything wrestling. You'll get it on this channel. Till next time, peace.